Hi, everyone. I wanted to follow up on this concept that I have about like that burning, kindling in our children's stomach. So I want you to keep in mind that the coercive control of the narcissistic abuser, their goal is to create compromise in our children. They want our children to not have agency, just like they didn't want you to have agency. They want our children to be confused. They want our children to feel unsteady. I always call it like, we might have one or two children in our lifeboat, but, maybe one or two out in the waters, the stormy seas of the coercive controller, like literally anything to create chaos, to create betrayal, to create this feeling of insecurity, vulnerability. That's what the coercive controller wants to do. We always have to be ready with our lifeline to help those children onto our boat, but always being prepared, by the way, that any children in the boat could easily go over. I mean, it sounds exaggerative, but I'm serious. This is how it works. They are always looking to harm. So, what they want is to kind of create what they are, who they are. They want their children to be compromised because if they can compromise their children will not have agency. It's so important, right? And so you lost your agency in that relationship, push, 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 push down, diminished over and over again, right? That's the goal. And so what they do is they create these feelings of not being important, not being loved by extended family, to think that their protective parent, whoever that parent is harmful, is unstable, is obsessed about something or other. And again, this does not have to be so overt, like, oh, your mother hates you. It can be more like, mom can be that way with people she cares about, right? Or mom talks all the time badly about you. It can be those types of things in that kindling in the stomach. It's like a little fire burning. Ooh. And that fire is so much pain and shame. And then in that fire burning, when we react, we actually add fuel to the fire. So I want you to think about what we always hear when we talk about narcissists is we talk about their supply, right? In those moments, when your children are reacting to you in a horrible way, when you counteract in a horrible way, meaning I don't want to say horrible way, but when you counteract, when you're angry, when you are like, how dare you treat me that way? When you're doing those things, when you're reactive, you are actually providing them the oxygen. So what we do, and we don't even mean to do it, what we do is we actually support the coercive controller's goal. Oh my gosh. I don't know. That's like huge to me. So we actually support the coercive controller's goal, the narcissistic abuser's goal. Because if we can get mad at that child, they are being shamed by us, and it's not even our intent, never our intent, but we are shaming them. That's how they take it because they're so distressed. They're so vulnerable. Anything we say feels like an attack. I know you've had that experience. Anything you said to the abuser felt like an attack. Anything. If you said, oh, I'd like a little more cream in your coffee, right? Oh, the abuser would say, oh, I didn't put enough cream. And they would feel like shame about that, right? This is the point. And so when we are distressed and we're reacting to our children, we're not intending to shame them, but we are in some ways shaming them. And in that, we are creating fuel to their fire. And that fire in their stomach is exactly what the coercive controller wants. I go on a limb saying this, but that is the narcissism being created. The more that we can add fuel to that fire that the narcissist, the coercive controller is creating in their stomach, the more harm. The more harm, the more that they don't value themselves, the more shame they feel, the more that they actually continue to take on those traits. How do we get them not to take on those traits? We counteract it, right? We don't shame them. We think about every single aspect. How do we create the space where anything that we are doing with them is not a correction, right? So maybe they're supposed to empty the dishwasher and they don't. You've got to ask yourself, if I ask them to empty the dishwasher, am I adding to shame? Or do I ask them to maybe put away the silverware, right? So we be really clear about this. And this is like, I guess the next YouTube video is they are not their chronological age. They are psychologically traumatized. Their brains have been damaged. This sounds really harsh, broken brain. If they had had, I guess, a car accident and they had a trauma to their head, we would all treat them differently. Yet they walk in the door behaving horribly, perhaps, or maybe a scale of 1 to 10, maybe a 5, maybe a 10, maybe some of you are dealing with the 10s and it's really distressing. But if they were behaving that way because they had been in a car accident and you knew why they were behaving that way, they were having significant cognitive processing issues. They were very frustrated and angry and overwhelmed, as many people who suffer acquired brain injuries are, seriously, are, then you would treat them differently. We need to treat our kids differently. They are not the same humans. They have experienced something entirely different. So I hope that helps, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.